Hi guys, welcome to Tale of Two Dead Girls. I am your host Kayla.
And I'm your host, Kale.
And we are back with a Morbid mini episode.
We love these so much, and we've got a pretty good influx of stories recently, so we're excited to read them.
Super excited. So one of the stories that I wanted to read, it is a story, pretty much. It's a book. So we got this email last year, and somehow it got lost and we totally forgot about it. But we have a 6-year-old who is obsessed with Tale of Two Dead Girls, and her mom has DM'd us on Instagram and has shared, her daughter's um, interest in our podcast and stuff, and it's just so cute. And she actually wrote a little book for us to share with you guys. So go to our Instagram to check it out. But I'm going to go ahead and read the email and then read the little book that her daughter wrote for us. I've been messaging you on Instagram about my 6-year-old that's obsessed with you guys now. She decided to write a spooky book written and illustrated by herself. She kind of took her story from an experience I told her about. I attached pictures of her and her book, but here's my story. I spend lots of time at my best friend's house, and we have experienced lots of spooky things there. Her daughter is kind of like a medium, and stuff just hangs out at the house. Anyway, it was late at night and I was ready to go. My car is a new 2021 with a fancy display that lets me know if there are cars or people behind me. It shows little stick figures and beeps to alert me. Well, it beeped and had a little stick figure when I was backing up, but in the camera display, nothing was there. I then turned around to see if maybe someone was in the camera's blind spot, but nothing was there. Spooked me a bit, but like I said, stuff like that happens there a lot, so I just went about my way. As you can see in my daughter's story, she needed it to be a little more spooky. TK wanted me to tell y'all that she's y'all's biggest fan. Stay spooky, Jessica and TK.
That is very creepy. I don't know why I always have this like fear when I'm driving alone, especially at night, that I'm gonna like look in my rearview mirror and see like someone in my backseat or like someone just standing under the creepy street light like behind me or in front
Me
of me.
too. Me too. And also, I hallucinate, or I always see things out of like the corner of my eye, or I think I see something. And it happens daily, often. Like I think I see people. Sorry if you can hear my dog drinking water. Um, but I always think that I see people, and then I double take, and like it's not a person. It's like a fire hydrant or something, but I'm
Yeah.
always seeing things, and I don't know if something's wrong with me or if it's just a normal thing to like have your mind playing tricks on you. But
I feel like I
yeah,
do that a lot too.
really,
Yeah.
it's spooky. I hate it. I'm like, something wrong with me. But anyways, here is the book. It's called The Spooks, and on the front page it has a picture of I'm not going to say what that is. I'm just not even going to describe it. I'll just let you guys look at the pictures on Instagram. Okay, so it's called The Spooks, from TK. One day, my mom was at her best friend's house. She was trying to go home. Suddenly, her beeper said someone was behind her. When she looked back, no one was there. Then she turned back and a black figure was on her window. The end. And then there's TK and are holding the book, The Spooks that she created. So cute.
Yeah, this is adorable. We love it so much, and we are so sorry that we waited a whole year to read this.
Yeah.
Like literally almost a whole year. She sent it like back in June, so You're so sorry.
TK, thank you so much. You are so adorable and we appreciate you, and thank you so much for listening and writing us and drawing all of the pictures. You are such a talented little kid and we're just so happy that you listen to us and you love us so much, and we love you.
Yeah, we definitely do. And we hope that you're still listening and you're also pretty freaking cool, because sometimes we get scared when we record these episodes and you're 6 years old. Well, I guess maybe 7 now. And you listen to these scary episodes. And that's just cool because, yeah, it's creepy.
Thank you again, TK.
All right, guys. So now I'm going to read one of our Morbid minis. This one is called Fred's House, and this is sent to us by Jenny. My mom bought our current house about 8 years ago. She bought it as a foreclosure due to a fire. Anyway, it's in a great area, but we were honestly the youngest people on the block. The block is filled with a lot of elderly people, mostly retired or work from home. I moved in with her after the renovations to help with the mortgage, but as soon as I walked around the house, I noticed a sudden shift in my energy. It was almost like I wasn't alone. There's a detached barn in the back. When I walked into there, I instantly got anxious it was because it was a foreclosure. Everything from the previous owner was still there. You could tell it had a lot of history, and by that I mean a ton of rusted tools, random liquids with decomposed stuff in jars, boxes upon boxes that I didn't dare look through. The fridge in there was even filled with rotten food still. I asked my mom why she never looked in there or cleaned it up, and all she could ever say was, I can't go in there yet, and I never knew why. Until one day. She asked me to go grab a hammer from the barn. In my head, I was freaking out, but I said okay and made my way to the barn. As soon as I opened the fucking door, I seen a figure of a man standing in the corner. I blinked hella fast, thinking I was just tripping, but no. Every time I blinked, the figure became more and more visible. He was
Oh,
just
hell
staring
no.
at me. Yeah. This is so scary. The way that you're like, I can just picture panicked blinking, like the cartoons when they like take their eyeballs out and like rub them together or whatever.
Ew.
Like, is this real? He was just staring at me. I felt scared at first, but the more I stood there, the less I felt scared. I proceeded to grab the hammer because my mom would have kicked my ass if I didn't come back with it, and quickly ran the fuck out of there. I gave the hammer to my mom and I asked her if she ever felt unsafe in the new home. She quickly told me no and shrugged it off. So, whatever, right? Everything's fine. Actually, no, it wasn't. After that trip to the barn, I started having vivid ass dreams of the house. Y'all remember how I said it was marked as a foreclosure due to a fire? Well, that's exactly what I dreamt of. Everything felt real. Almost,
Oh. What?
ugh,
Oh my god.
yeah, almost like I was there when it happened. Ashes would hit my face as I stared at the barn being burnt down. I heard
Bro.
screams, and the same figure popped up just standing there in disappointment, not making a sound. Ugh, that's
Oh my
so
god.
scary.
This is like really creepy.
Yeah,
What the
fires
heck?
terrify me so bad. Let's see. I woke up the next morning in cold sweats, trying my best to figure out what the fuck my dream meant. So I went and talked to my mom about it, and lo and behold, she's been withholding information the whole time. She finally told me the history of the house and the man that lived here. His name is Fred. Fred was an elderly man. He was actually the first owner of this house, so he took a lot of pride in his house and everything that came with it. This house was built in the early 60s. He lived alone for over 10 years because his wife passed away. She passed away in the house. She also told me that the real reason why it was foreclosed, Fred too passed away in this house and he had no other family to take it over. He passed away due to heart
No.
failure.
Hmm.
He was in the bathroom and then tried to make his way to the living room where he was found. I guess there was talk about his house being on the market for a while, but no one ever bought it. Now I know why. Fred didn't want anyone in his house. It took about 2 years after that incident for him to be okay with me. My mom told me Fred wouldn't bother me as long as I help him take care of the house. I thought she was crazy. I was still a teenager at the time, young, dumb, and lazy. So when she would ask me to get chores done while she was at work, most of the time I didn't listen. What really shocked me was that she was right. I would be up in my room being a lazy sack of shit when I was supposed to be outside doing yard work. No one else was home, and suddenly I hear doors slam, cabinets being open and shut. I freaked the fuck out, locked my door, and called my mom right away, thinking we were getting robbed.
Oh my
She
god.
didn't she didn't give a shit about what I was saying and how much of a panic I was in, and she asked me was, "Did you get your chores done?" Obviously I hadn't, and that's when she told me to remember what she said, and then she just hung up the phone.
Oh my god. That is crazy.
Fred really didn't like that I was being lazy and not taking care of the house. She advised me to go outside, close anything he opened, and apologize to him and get my chores done. Later that night, I felt a sense of relief. I now have an understanding on how Fred is, and he really don't play about this house. Fast forward some years, and my fiance and I still live in Fred's house with our two kids. My fiance has told me at times he sees a figure. I told him it's most likely Fred. Did you take the trash out? And yeah, of course he forgot.
Oh my goodness.
I've told him a little about Fred and how he is. He doesn't ever leave the trash or recycle full anymore. We still see him from time to time. We hear him more than anything, but it doesn't bother us anymore. We take it as him checking up on the house and making sure it's being taken care of. It's safe to say Fred will always be around. I just hope when we move the next owner does what they're supposed to do to keep Fred happy.
Aw, oh my god. This was good.
Yeah, it was like scary and then wholesome.
Yeah, like I that is so crazy. That is so crazy that like you had that kind of experience like where like you know that a ghost is like or a spirit or whatever is like you know how to keep them calm and happy.
Yeah.
Like that's just so freaking crazy. Like holy crap. Have you I want to know like did you ever talk to Fred? Like did you ever like even if you couldn't hear him like we're like hey Fred like I or like maybe if you needed some sort of like comfort like you were going through a breakup or I don't know something just like talking to Fred be like you know you're an older guy wise can you help me out or I don't know it's just
Go spy on him.
that's like crazy. That's like you kind of have a friend. I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
so
that's
crazy.
that is really weird. Like it's funny. It like makes me think of like a sitcom, like a TV sitcom or something. And it's like
Yeah.
the ghost with his arms folded, and he's like, "Get
Yeah.
back to work, Jenny."
Yeah, totally. Okay. We got an email from Dawn and it's called Paranormal Stuff. Hello. I'm a paranormal investigator and have done some with people who are on TV. I went to a private event in Maine and had an interesting experience. We were in the Greater Rumford Community Center in Rumford, Maine. It has a long history of activity. As we got started, we were warned to hold on to the handrails as we walked down the main landing. People have been pushed. The evening was fairly quiet, I think, because the gym was open and people were being pretty loud. It felt really creepy, but the evidence was scarce. We were wrapping up for the night and everyone was heading downstairs. I'm holding onto the rail because I'm clumsy, anyway. I was 4 steps from the middle landing and suddenly I was on my butt, on the next to last step. Arms still up in the air, holding onto the handrail. When I realized what happened, I started stammering that I was holding onto the rail. I guess the shock of falling hit me. People were telling me that I looked like I was lifted up. Something grabbed my right
Oh.
foot and pulled it up. The people behind me even said I was yanked. I didn't trip. Here's what got me there. 4 months before the trip to Maine, I was going on a cruise hosted by Amy Bruni and Adam Barry from Ghost Hunters and Kindred Spirits. They have a travel business that focuses on haunted destination weekends. Whoa, that's so cool. What the heck? I need to look into that.
Yeah, that's so. I would not be doing that, but have fun. I'm good.
I would probably go with Legacy's mom. She'd probably do it with me. Um, Grant Wilson was there talking about what drew him to ghost hunting. I asked him if I could show him something that my daughter had drawn. A guy from Haunt Me, a YouTube show from Maine, was there too. I showed them the picture and Ty lost it. He told me to go show Greg and Dana, who have a tracking museum of haunted objects. They are also the people doing the Hellier series. I showed them, and then I was in the middle of Grant, Ty, Dana, and Greg. They were geeking out. They had all seen the same thing climbing walls at the GRCC. It was a crazy trip. Wait a second. Ew, what is that? Ew!
Yeah, that's freaky.
What?
I don't like it.
That is scary. If you want to know what we're
In the
talking about,
water?
the pictures are going to be on Instagram. But
Their daughter drew this?
yeah, that's disgusting. Like, what?
That is so
Ew.
scary. A
I
backwards
feel,
head.
yeah, I feel a little uneasy looking at that,
It
so I'm
kind
not
of,
going to look at that anymore.
yeah, it kind of looks like Venom.
Oh, yeah.
Weird. The mouth, at least.
Yeah. Well, that is it for today. Thank you so much to those of you that have emailed us. And if you have any more stories, or if you haven't sent us a story yet, please do. We love reading these. These are seriously like the best. Like, to know real stories from, people directly. It's just awesome. So
Yeah.
get your stories in, taleoftwodeadgirls at gmail.com. You can find the email in the description of the podcast, like the show notes, and then also on Instagram, we'll have it in our post description caption thing. So thank you guys again for listening. And we will be back with another full length episode soon. So keep your eyes peeled.
And keep your ears peeled too, since you'll be listening to it.
Well, but if your ears are peeled, like, then you can't hear anything, you know?
That is true.
I don't know. All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys later. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.